This week on the Push Relays podcast, I talk about what has been going on in the combine and the biggest weaknesses from my batch of combiners, and how to rip off completely some and 3, 2, 1. I had cupping today, Dan.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pro Legs podcast with myself, Damik.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, bro?
I didn't hear you then. What did you have today, you said?
I had cupping.
Cupping? Oh, God,
Yeah.
Who cupped you? The real question.
Oh, well, go to the YouTube now, and then you can see. I can't do it. This side. This side. Could you see a red?
Does it even work? Doesn't even work. We haven't on your...
No idea. No idea. I was literally having a sports massage because I was like, I want to get primed for next week, and because my shoulders have been nigglies from swimming. And when she turned around, I was like, "You ever had cupping?" I was like, "No, don't really believe it." She was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm surprised." I was like, "Yeah, I've had sports massage." I was like, "I've had acupuncture or dry needling. I can kind of see it." I was like, "I just don't know the science, if I'm honest." I was like, "So I haven't really committed to it. So I just think it looks silly." She was like, "Oh, basically, if you've got a lot of muscle mass, like it lifts up that bit, the top bit, and then your blood's able to go to the lower bit a little bit easier." I was like, pretty sure the blood's going there anyway. But
yeah, otherwise it would be dead. Yeah.
She was just like, "Oh, basically, like when people obviously I'm massaging, but I probably can't get to the lower bit. Like I need to lift up that top tissue for it to flush full of something. That's why it bruises." And I was like, I don't really know what that means, but sure, let's have a go. Let's see what happens.
Basically, what she's saying is that if you've got a steak and you pulled it off and you stretched up a bit, that it's gonna cause more to go in where? No, it's the same thing.
I don't know. I don't know where the bloods go in or because I guess if you lift up what's underneath your traps, like I don't know, subscaps. I don't know, all those kind of scalenes in your neck, all those muscles that I can't bother to dip into my physiology again. And then I was just like, I obviously there's lots of stuff that's really deep in there. Also, she said I had a lot of muscle mass, so it wouldn't make a mark on.
See, that's why she did it, because you're like, yeah, do the cupping all you want. Yeah, of course. Why not? Yeah.
I was like, yeah, do it. Let's go. Yeah. So I was like, yeah, fine. I'm pretty sure, and I'm guaranteed that usually when sports masseuses do it, they're getting tired and they get to rest for about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
that's definitely why they do cupping or they do dry needling, is because they get to sit down and chat for 5 minutes, and
they do nothing
whilst it works.
It's why they all love the fucking Theragun, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? They get the Theragun out because they don't have to do anything.
I use the Theragun before some of my lifting, and literally in one of my I'll see whether my editor picks it out in one of the my talk along videos. I literally say I'm using this. I know I'm going to get shit from the person I host a podcast with. I'll see whether it stays in or one of my warm-up videos, because I was prepping for some split squats and I just needed to go through my adductor on my left side. I have constant issues with it from playing silly football. I was just I know she's gonna pick this out when I film it, and I know Dan's gonna comment. I was already talking to camera and I was just shit, I shouldn't have filmed this bit. Oh well, it's already gone.
Yeah, I think now I don't care about it as much now, because obviously I'm not posting as much content around fitness stuff. But it's I get it. I'd probably buy one now, to be fair. Why not? Fuck it. Bring one over, Tom, when you come visit.
Percussive therapy. You have the adult things to put on as well, right? The adult attachments. Well, Laura does. Yeah. Laura hasn't.
Yeah, of course, yeah. That's it. I wonder what that noise was all the time. Maybe she's already got one. It's I get it. I really do get it. I get why it's appealing. I just feel convinced it does fuck all.
Oh yeah, it feels nice for 5 seconds, but I just needed it to feel nice for the next 20 minutes, basically, and that's it. So I could grind through my split squats, and that'll be agony afterwards. But yeah, I just wanted to, as I say, desensitize the muscle. That's all it does. Doesn't do anything else. Doesn't fix you. Doesn't give you more mobility. It might give you acute mobility for 2 seconds, it just desensitizes. Just like if I punch Dan in the face lots and lots and lots, he gets thicker. He becomes desensitized, okay, to my words. Basically it. So whenever you hit something, it will, I don't know. When you hit when you hit a steak, what happens? A lot of steak references in this one. That's tenderizing it, right?
Yeah.
So maybe we tenderizing the muscle. That's what it's doing. Has anybody used a Theragun in the kitchen for a steak?
Why not? Should do.
That should work, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Isn't that part of entrepreneurship, Dan? We should take a currently existing product and apply it to a different kind of like mechanism.
Mate, get on the phone to Gordon Ramsay. He'll do that.
Definitely do that, wouldn't he? Yeah. Thera beef guns. No.
Yeah, Thera kitchen guns. Kitchen guns.
Kitchen guns. Yeah.
I bet it's got more than one use. I bet it's not just steaks that you can or chicken breast you can do that with.
Adult toy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I only know that because on my Amazon, I was looking at buying one, and then I scrolled. Obviously, other people had bought this, and there was adult attachments, Dan, that you could buy for it.
Mental. That is mental.
Dan's looking out like, what?
Yeah, I'm literally Amazon now. Straight away. Like,
I was like, there was. I was like, no, there definitely was adult
I think
attachments.
what comes up on your homepage now under recommended.
Mate, yeah, I know. I was like, I hope nobody sees this.
Yeah. Oh, what's Tom been getting? Oh, I see what you're doing. I go on mine and it is literally golf. Literally everything golf. Yeah. Oh, also, Tom, as well, in preparation for your arrival, just to piss you off, I bought 4 dozen Pro V1Xs, just because I know you hate the sound of it. So I just thought I'd go to town on that. Just definitely decided they're definitely the best out of the Pro V1s, Pro V1X. It's Pro V1X, definitely.
I'm a Pro V1 golfer.
Pro V1X is better. Decided.
It's not though, is it? I mean, Dan's already sitting there squirming because, I played well on Monday-ish. Front 9-ish, back 9.
Yeah, but you've played well. Like that doesn't mean you're going to play well. It means you did play well. Like
means
that's fine.
Current form book. Check the form book, mate. What have you done for me lately? We both played at the same time. I shot a 77 with a 9 over after 9. That's bad.
I shot an 81 playing really badly. You shot a 77 playing really well for half the round. So
half the round,
that tells you everything you need to know. That I played badly all throughout. So yeah. Good thing is now, mate, with our handicaps, we're no shots between us pretty much. It's just the same.
You're on like 4, aren't you? I'm on 6. I get 2 shots.
Mate, it's going up, mate. It's 5.2. It's going up.
I get 1 shot though. I mean, stroke index 1. I hope it's like a long par 5 that I can reach into.
Yeah, probably.
Wherever we're playing. It'd be fine. Yeah. No, my luck, it'll be a shitty par 3. I'll just be like, just write me down for a bogey. It's fine. I think I only parred 1 par 3 on that course.
Yeah, my par 3s are going fine. I'm parring them. No problem.
Hit the green, I par it, but I just couldn't get up and down this week. I did get a 2. And I had a 5 iron in to that par 3 as well. So I was pretty happy with a 2 there. Twos.
You're not doing too badly then, are you, mate? You're not doing too bad.
No, it's all right. But it was just, there was just in the scope in par 3s in that course. Like one of them's like a 200-yard par 3, which I hit a 5 iron to about 10 foot and hold it. And then there's another one that's just really fucking awkward, which was a 107-yard par 3. And then it's just a shot that you're like, I should really hit this well and close. And like my 2 buddies both made like bogeys and 5s. I made a 3 because I just knocked it on I was just like, I'm not overthinking this whatsoever. I was like, it's wind with. I mean, 100-yard shot. It's fine. And I think they overthought it a little bit. He's like, silly. Anyway, everybody, there won't be a podcast next week because me and Dan, it is battle number 4, I believe. Dan's 2-1 up in the grand scheme of competition, I believe.
Yeah.
I'll admit that. We're back on his home turf. We're yet to play in my home turf, by the way, like a full batch of rounds. We need to do at least 3 rounds in a row. Like
we do need to
in England at some point.
Next summer we'll sort that out. That's fine.
Next summer. Why is my camera gone?
Tom's camera's frozen. I can't see what Tom looks like. That's probably for the best.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, so we're playing. Well, we're playing we're playing on the
Here we go.
we're playing on the Earth course the week before it closes for the DP World Tour event. So it's proper championship level golf course. So that's going to be the first thing that's going to.
That's going to be absolutely miserable. Oh, that's going to be good.
Yeah.
You might, and I haven't got a free iron. I haven't got it redone, reshafted before.
I haven't gone in time.
I didn't go in time, but I did enjoy. I did have to hit a hybrid out of the rough this week, and it was a lot nicer. I hit it like 2 or 3 times off the tee. It was good.
There we go.
Enjoyed it. There you go, hitting my hybrid. So I might have to muscle 4 irons if I have to, because I've got a little bit of a gap there now, which I'm like, shit. Do I try and what do I do? So who knows? I don't think I can back off my hybrid very well. So don't know what's gonna happen. If I've got like a shot, if I've got a 220 yard, like I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna just have to absolutely try and lever a 4 iron. I think I'm more confident.
We just have to make sure we get to 220 all the time.
Just like, what is going on? Try and soft hybrid, a really high hybrid that like sits. That's what I'll be doing. Front foot. We're all good. All right. It'll be interesting. I hope everybody's getting ready for that incredibly boring content from us next week, but it will be all golf related, unfortunately. I'm going to be continuing triathlon training, and Dan's going to come for a run with me. So that's he said.
Yeah, I'm driving alongside you while you run. Yeah.
You can be on your scooter.
All right, I'll do that. Fine. Yeah, that's fine. I can do that. I'll film it for YouTube for you. Get some good shots while I'm on the scooter.
Oh, mate, yeah, because I never do that. I just cannot be bothered to put my phone down, run past my phone, go get my phone again, or like have my phone out and do this. La 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 la. I'm just like, my phone is in my little pouch or in my shorts. That is where it's staying. Like, I can't be bothered.
Correct.
I just can't. Yeah, I'm like, there's like enough anguish on me as I'm going around. So for the first time, I had a video of me swimming. I could have been talking bullshit for the last 3 months, because Sarah, it was like too cold, so she was like, actually took some videos. I was going to stop and be like, can you actually take a video of me? Because I don't think people believe I swim. It's actually quite nice. So all good. We're all good, Dan. We're trending in the right direction with my triathlon training. It's a fiddle, mate, and I completed my combine last week. So amongst other things, I guess we should have a rundown of what we're meant to be talking about today. Now that we're 12 minutes in and I haven't talked about anything. So.
You put me to shame, mate, because I've done nothing fitness related for a very long time.
I tested. Yeah, I've probably done about, I don't know. It's my whole fucking mantra about my business, isn't it? About testing, but I just test all the time. Just test. Train at 80%, then test. That's all I do.
Yeah, I should probably just train first, really.
It seems to work though. They're all good. Yeah, I'll give you 3 tests to do. There you go. We're going to go actually from my batch of, so they have in my general combine. So if everybody doesn't know what fucking combine is you could have done it for free last week, but there will be an opportunity in December. Watch this space. But there's like 16 tests, I think all divided up into 3. And then there's just like, I say, do a run, whatever distance you like. I couldn't give a shit. If you only want to run 400 meters, run 400 meters. If you want to do a 5K, run 5K. I'd rather do that one because that's the one I need for my algorithm to do your pacing chart. But if I were to pick tests for Dan to do, which he'd least like, I think the 50% body weight goblet squat for 60 seconds is hideous. But I don't know. I feel like you do all right at it, weirdly. You don't weigh a lot, so
that's the thing that's going to help me is I don't weigh a lot. That's the beauty of that.
So when he picks up the 15 kilo dumbbell, he might be all right. So actually, because you haven't trained for a while, and I know, so I've changed recently for this one. For most people, I would normally do a strength pull up, but I feel like it errs on the side of the guys a little bit more. So I did an AMRAP, a 60-second AMRAP on a pull up. I feel like that would suck. I don't think you'd enjoy that, because I feel like they're a trained thing, and if you haven't been training for a while, they do tend to suck quite a lot. And then hands down, I think your power based things, because that's just an FYI, power fucks off quickest. And there's a few power, there's 3 horizontal power, and then there's 3 vertical power things, testing parameters. And yeah, I don't think you'd enjoy them, but we'll talk into that in a second, because we're going to go over some certain things through those tests and because I got a bunch of people who completed it last week who are not my clients. So it was interesting to see what are the big holes in kind of general people's fitness, because there was a lot of coaches in there, but there was a lot of kind of just keen gym enthusiasts. So it was interesting to see. Then within what are we talking about? Ripping off content. Not ripping off content.
Yeah.
Copying. Bit of copying. Lovely.
Bit of copying.
Dan's gonna be like, but I stole all of James Ralph's content, so that's all I did. Stole, paid for.
Paid for, told the world this is a training plan you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Don't think you'd have had a problem if you were a multi-million-pound footballer saying it, would he?
No.
Would not have been a problem then, would it?
Yeah. So what should we go into first? What's more interesting?
Well, I'll start with this because it's short and sweet. James Smith copied someone's content, I know, basically. I just think it's one of those things where I say it all the time, don't I? In the podcast, I need to stop saying that. That's a drink, because that's the
podcast bingo.
I know that he's made posts about it before. He's called people out for copying him, and he has a right go at people. And I know some of his, not friends, but I know some of his people who do stuff with content, and they threaten legal action to people who've copied their content and stuff like that, like sent lawyers letters and all this sort of stuff. And they're in his circles, and I know they are. I'm sure he's probably even done it himself, to be fair.
Yeah.
So to see that is just a bit really hypocritical, and it really annoys me. I think everyone gets inspiration for content from other places. Everyone, there's nothing brand new in the world, right? I kind of get that. No. But this video is literally the same, down to every single part of it. And there's a few points at which he could have done his own thing on. He could have made it his own, even down to the angle he shot his own video out and all this sort of stuff. Because I posted the guy's video who it was, because it went viral. It got 1.1 million views. That's why James Smith has seen it. And then he copied it exactly, to the point where the cuts and everything are exactly the same, to the point where I think he screen recorded the guy's video to get...
Yeah, and then just...
Because this guy basically just picked someone else's videos to put on his own, and he made a joke video out of it. So the first, say, 5 seconds of the video, it's screen recorded from someone else's content. And I think James Smith, you wouldn't have found that content anywhere other than on this video. So he screen recorded the new guy's content, if that makes sense. It's on my story if you want to go watch it from today. But it's just painful to see someone who would call people out for copying content and how he gets copied all the time and all this sort of shit to then do the same thing. It's be better. If you don't just, I don't know, it just annoys me, the hypocrisy of it. That's what frustrates me, annoys me. I wouldn't mind it so much if he didn't call it out and he didn't moan at it and his mates weren't fucking trying to sue people for copying content and then he's doing it. It's just a bit odd. I just find it really odd, and I thought he was better than that, and I thought he was original, but now it makes me think maybe he's not original with most of his content. And someone texted me and said that he's actually been called out recently for doing it with other people's as well.
Yeah, he has been. I remember seeing it about a month or two ago. He did one about doing. There was a post, and exactly the same cuts, same exact script kind of thing, just kind of said about it. And the guy who did do it has about 15,000 followers, so he's got enough people that would have been all right, this was your content. And it was the whole, you've probably seen, if you've ever seen a person doing lunges with a bicep curl, just do them different, separately. And there was another coach who did exactly the same cut, same kind of scripting, same kind of bullshit kind of chat as well. And this guy just literally was and then he made a video of him with his video and James Smith's video cutting from each over to one, and was just what the fuck? He was James, if you want to use my content, then just give me credit. What the fuck? But then obviously he probably blocked him and just fuck off. So yeah, it was one of those videos. I don't know if it's still up there, but yeah,
it's mad,
tediously annoying. But we know it happens. We know people steal things, people. But yeah, I think it would be fine if he just put his personality on it, or put his spin on it, or did something slightly different, or because we all know we take inspiration from certain things, and it's just all right, it's either give direct credit or put your spin on it somehow.
It's just the way that with the video, again, you guys will, if you want, I'll send it to you.
It's he could have put a big pole and pretend he had a massive cock or something like that.
But not even that. Even if he did do that, but he could have got his mates involved in a different angle with different music, or played it slightly differently, or said to his mates, "Hey, roll this over me," or whatever, and done it from fucking head to toe in a slightly different way. Like, I don't know, just the way that it was exactly the same. I was just a bit like, it's just so poor, and I think that's just the way he's gone now, isn't it? It's just him in general, probably. I'm just watching it again now, just because I just wanted to make sure that I genuinely am right, and it is exactly the same. Like exactly the same. Like, I commented on the video and I just put like, "Oh, I preferred this guy, because Alex Anthony, I prefer his version from 5 days ago." Like, on the post, just because it's like, I don't know, just think it's a bit shit.
Yeah.
So that's what annoyed me this week, is just seeing that, because, like I said, he's the first guy to be calling people out for doing this sort of shit.
Yeah.
And it's just a bit like, he's got 37,000 likes. I mean, Alex got 272,000, so at least his is still going better.
At least, still pumping.
But still, it's like 9.8 million views that now.
Yeah. Well, when I saw it today, when you posted it, I clicked on it and it had 5.5 million. So, and that can't have been more than 3 hours ago.
Yeah.
No.
Mad. Again, all it takes is one video. Like, again, the guy's now got 6,000 followers. I think he had about 2,000.
So because I looked, I was like, I wonder how many followers he's gained, and he was only on like 2.5, 3, nearly almost 3,000. Definitely in the twos. I was like, when I looked,
Is it 6,300 now?
And I was like, I didn't know what he was before, and I was like, he hasn't gained that many followers from it. I was like, I looked at his other posts, kind of similar kind of likes to whatever, and I was like, he actually, for 5.5 million views, I thought there'd be a few more follows. Like the equation, like literally, that's almost 10 million views on a thing. So you wrote a thing the other day about obsessing over followers, right? It's like that viral videos nearly had 10 million views, and he's only, let's say, picked up 4,000 follows.
And I wonder how many of them will actually
be small percentage, and then there'll be
actually how many of those will be useful, like, as well.
Useful follows, or like would have absorbed his content that he wants people to come and look at, really, to be ideal clients and that kind of thing. So it's such a small percentage. It's insane.
And I always say this to coaches. We always come back to talking about content and all that sort of stuff, and everyone wants to go viral. And I don't know if I don't think Alex listens to this podcast, so he's not going to hear this. But this is why I bang on to coaches about the need and the requirement for your profile to be set up properly, so that if that does happen, at the moment, his bio could be a lot better, for example, could be a lot better, and he doesn't have an email list or a lead magnet in there. So his bio at the moment is, "I specialize in helping you unlock your gymnastic potential in just 90 days. So not too bad. Not too bad. At least you have an idea of what he's about. And again, his content is pretty good. But if he had titles on every single one of his posts saying what it was about, why it's useful, even the last 12 posts, so that when someone lands on his page, they can see what the content is about. Yeah. If he then had a lead magnet, which was how to do your first muscle up within the next 60 days, it's 3-step guide to getting your first muscle up in the next 60 days. As a lead magnet, he would have got anyone interested in that onto an email list. They would have clicked on that, and he would have identified those who did not follow him or did come to his page that would have wanted that and found it useful. They may not have followed him, but they may have clicked that link and given him his email. And it's exactly what happened with my client Rachel when she blew up. She went skyrocketed. She had all that in place. So that when she got 320,000 followers now. All her content went crazy. She's got 30,000 people on an email list. So that's the real win out of that. Is that if Instagram left tomorrow, she's got 30,000 email addresses that she knows are interested in the very thing that she offers. And if he'd have had his profile set up a little bit better and a little bit more on point, that one video could have got him 8,000 followers and another 1,000 people on email list, potentially. That's why you do content, is to do those numbers. Maybe because the way it's been done is it didn't quite get as many people to do that, because it could have been set up a lot better. And coaches don't like me when I bang on about it and say, "Look, you need to get set up. There's no point. I'm not doing anything." That's one piece of content that I don't think took him very long. No. It's one clip of his. The other 2 clips are someone else's videos he's put on the end. It's funny, it's good, all that sort of stuff. That's a throwaway piece of content that he did not put any effort into, that's gone viral, where he could have got, again, more followers, more emails on the email list. Actually, people that he knows are interested in what he has to offer. His titles on his videos could have been better, and he could have been in a much better place. And you're never going to get that again. That's his one thing. It's not going to happen again. It's very unlikely anyway.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a reason you do that. There's a reason you got that shit set up.
Yeah, 100%. And I feel like it's obviously not going viral for followers is probably the I know a very hard strategy to try and do, because it's so, I feel it's so random, even though there's so many people selling me the courses on how to go viral, weirdly, every single time. There'll be I saw like somebody was like, oh, this is how Mr. Beast goes viral every time. Like, oh yeah, that's like 200 million in subscribers. So.
Yeah. He doesn't go viral every time. He hits his followers every time.
The post. He was like, I saw he was like, for his sponsorship deals or YouTube, like when he's like talking about PayPal or Stripe or something like that. No, he was like, yeah, to do like brand deals or whatever, it costs them half their yearly budget to put one on one video for me. He's like, I get double Super Bowl views. It's like, yeah, that's how much it costs. Yeah. He was like, I'm not just gonna put it down because your person won't give you any more money. It's just like, if you want to get in front of 200 million people, then this is what you got to pay. It's like, nah. He's such a smart lad, and he's just like, it's insane. But I would say if people want, I would say from just anecdotally, and I'm sure you're very similar. You have a few clients that will have like more followers than you, or like have a similar reach or need reach and stuff like that. And I have the same thing. People who speak highly of you and put you in your stories or like share your content or share your things is generally the best way to get people who want to follow you, and definitely kind of that kind of subsidiary of thing. I always get a boost of followers when maybe a couple of my clients that have more followers or have a certain niche that I'm talking to and it resonates with them. And people, they kind of, I don't know, are higher up in what they do. They tend to, I'll click on that. Oh, that person trusts that person, so I'm going to trust them as well. That kind of thing is generally how I get more followers. It always happens. Like a client will share stuff or they post about me in their stories saying, oh, I do this because this prick tells me. It's usually the case. Yeah.
Literally.
It's even better when they're super active on social media. So, yeah. That tends to what happened. It's good. Yeah, but I imagine you would concur with that in terms of building relationships and stuff.
100%. Like anybody that I know that's gone viral like that, it's not always cracked up to be. Is the common thing that I see in people who do it every time. Is that you think it's going to be the one thing that you need to boost your business, and it really isn't. Slow, sustained growth is definitely better. Even as people that have gone, like I say, someone like Rachel has done really, really well out of it and gone really, really well. It wasn't as quick as you'd think it was. It was still like you could still see it come in, and you were like, okay, cool. Like some of these videos are taking off. Let's make sure that we get things set up. It's that one there like that that's random. Like to give 10 million, it doesn't do anything for you. You think it's going to change things. It doesn't really. It's more about being consistent with it over time. Again, like Steve, Rachel have done the same things with that. Then you can start planning for shit properly.
Nah, wing it. Wing it. But always wing it. Putting that into perspective, though, James Smith is his whole business, his content, right? But he's seen a video within 5 days. He obviously does have a social media calendar of what he's meant to be posting day by day, but he obviously has space in his social media calendar for reactive based current things. So it is fine every now and again to wing it and put that stuff on if you've got like something hot you need to talk about and put it on and kind of shuffle your social calendar. I'm sure if he's doing it, and I'd say he in general is good at his content and knows exactly who he's talking to. But it's interesting. Obviously, you're going to preach, don't fucking do that much. It's unsustainable. You should have some sort of calendar, but there'll be certain times that just like it depends. Shit happens. Yeah,
I think it depends. I think as long as you've got content backed up, you can run with it. I think that the better you are with content, the more you can wing it like that. Like he's even 5 days is. He might have just thrown it in there as an extra one. He's putting out multiple pieces a day. So, if he puts out 3 pieces a day, what's putting out a 4th one that's ad hoc? Like it's fine. He can do that. It wouldn't have taken place of anything that was already pre-scheduled and stuff like that. But I think most people try and wing it, but they can't. They shouldn't. And that most people who do wing it get to a point where they've been for a schedule, been for a routine, they know what they're doing with it, that they can do that. But there's not many people that are really good at content that wing it. like on a day-to-day basis. They might, like I said, do the odd one there, like you just said, maybe every weekend. I've got a free hour, I'll film that because it's quite funny. Like, I copied it, that's fine. So yeah, it's definitely like that. It's definitely more of a case of like planning it ahead of time is smarter, because you should always have some sort of strategy to, again, what you're talking about on your socials this month, so that you're pushing towards something, in the background.
Yeah, 100%. You can probably see it, like, just to look through through the looking glass. All my stuff has just been about combine testing. Like, all of my content right now is just about testing, and then I've made sure I filmed every single fucking bit of that, and then my editor's going to go through every single test and edit videos on every single test. So you can probably see what I'm going to be talking about for the next month. It's all of those 16 tests, and that's just going to be dripping through. So even when I'm in Dubai, I'm going to be talking about that. It's just like, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, sure. But it was just the pressure on me when I was like, I wanted it to release on the same day. I was like, as I did it, because I was just like, oh, I'm doing this. So I put it on my story. I'm like, oh, fuck, I've got to actually sit down and edit this for like an hour and a half afterwards. And it's like, and then do a voiceover. But I didn't do the current. I was like, Dan would have been really annoyed with me. I did do it on like a captain, like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, or 4 takes when I was talking over like a 40-second clip. I was just like, so I know what I'm talking about. It's fine. All I've got to do is describe. I didn't have to be very witty or funny. Thank God. Struggle with that.
Luckily,
so, good. Luckily. Nice, mate. So speaking of that, obviously I wanted to talk about just, it's kind of my niche in. Obviously I talk about testing because people fucking suck at it, and I'd assume that a lot of people listen to this show, unless you're doing events on the reg, don't really know where their fitness is, and are probably bored of linear progression. That's probably one of the big things that are like bodybuilders and certain people that come to me, and they're like, yeah, I'm really bored of just like progressive overload, this, and it's like, I was like, unfortunately that's part and parcel with certain things, but then you throw in certain like months where I might focus on power, or we're focusing on like, I want to think of like a couple of rugby players and a ultra marathon guy. I'm doing a version of a 2x4 at the moment, which is strength with kind of power, which is really cool. So Dan, you'd like that? Like, I remember we did 2x4, didn't we?
Yeah.
So I've taken it and made it better. So I've applied BBT to it basically. So it's auto-regulated over those days, and then those strict sets are all power sets. But I'm trying to hit a certain like threshold of speed. So it's made it a little bit more interesting, I think, and then a little bit smarter than go do chest and triceps afterwards, which is down to what the programming generally happens from Brett Contreras. Not knocking the guy, but yeah, it's all glutes variations, and it'll be like, just do rope tricep pushdowns. That's all you need to do. It's like, all right, should we do some resilience exercise or some plyos or do some power-based jumping? Or nah, don't do that. All right, cool. It's not his niche, so it's fine. Obviously, I'd applied that in. But I wanted to talk about, obviously, we had about 30 people. Obviously, not everybody, in a big drop-off there. So you probably realize that when 30 people sign up, not that many people will complete it. Obviously by the end. So I'd imagine I think I'm happy with like, let's say 25% people completing it from like a 30, like from 100%. So and it's quite a big commitment, I guess. A whole week of training, that's quite a lot in terms of, I always think like 5 days, 7 days is quite a long time to commit to something for free as well. To see what people's general kind of fitness, and it's always interesting to see, because obviously I take people on and then I have a good recollection based off their sports or events or certain training they've done over the like previous, and it pretty much stands with the general public and like the coaches that were on the combine this week, and it is totally directed towards people struggle. And as you get later in life, we've talked about it with wanting to play golf or tennis or have some more kind of recreational activities and wanting to go and run and do all this stuff. But people, and especially coaches, it does seem, they really struggle with, and I said it was the power-based things and like the reactive power-based things. And it's this big kind of, I don't know, what do you call it? When it's just like a gap in people's knowledge, but a gap in people's like fitness, that I have 6 tests in that little bit, between like unilateral kind of power, and there's like a ratio, how we work out what you should be going on to next. And nearly every single call I had today was I think you should go away and learn how to jump and how to absorb power and absorb force, and you will get better at this test, which means you'll be able to apply it to. So I spoke to a rugby player today. I spoke to a person who wants to go off and do a half marathon in the new year. And I was like, you need to get better at sequencing. I was like, you're both strong, but at the moment your muscles are working a little bit independently and not together with your tendon, and being able to react off like force and react with energy. You want to be able to recycle that. So there's peek behind the curtain. There's two big tests that Dan would have done 100% when he was at Hull. Was a counter movement test, and it generally people say is a squat jump. I call it a non-counter movement jump, because that, in my mind, is what it'd be. Where you hold for 3 seconds in the base and then go. And then there's one where you whip down really quickly and jump in and out the hole really quickly. And there's a ratio between those two, which will help me decide where you would need to go, whether it be more bouncy things or more strength things, depending on which one is higher in your ratio. And it like 90% of people are relatively strong, because they're used to having their feet on the ground, they're used to producing kind of musculoskeletal force. But as soon as their tendon has to get into some whippy elasticness, fucking fall to shit. And it's like there's like nothing. And it was very telling. So I have a broad jump and then a triple broad jump, which you have to be a little bit more reactive. And I would expect that to be like almost 4 times as long as your normal broad jump, because of how you should pick up some bounding. And then you have a standing triple jump, which is like the actual doom, doom, how you sequence from one side to the other. So yeah, it was a lot of learning involved, because obviously you're going to get better at those tests by doing them more, right? So that's why I give people the weekend to reapply any tests that you feel like you can do better. But yeah, mate, it was quite interesting to see, but it doubles down on my like message of like, people might need to be able to sequence and jump around a little bit to be better at, especially more people are going into running, it seems, and trying to do that for health. If you want to get a better 5K, you probably want to be able to recycle force a little bit better. And that can be done literally from 10 minutes in your workout. You still can go and get jacked and like go do shoulder presses till your heart's desired or whatever that you want to do. But you could apply like 8 to 10 minutes of just jumping slightly, being a little bit athletic, trying to recycle certain things. Like I'm not just talking death by box jumps, but maybe depth jumps and stuff like that, off one leg. All the unilateral based training was interesting to see, where people would struggle on one side, or maybe their core was lit up quite a lot on one side. So yeah,
I think that'd be good. That'd be a good. I think that'd be a good YouTube video for you. Actually, is like when most people think about power, they just think box jump or broad jump. You know, it's developed a broad jump now, but I think there's not really many people that are talking about. And maybe there is. Maybe you follow them a little bit more, but certainly I don't see I see a lot of coaches
general
stuff,
training
right?
kind of thing, right?
No, and I think from that sort of data that you've got there, like, okay, so what does that look like then in terms of like, well, unilateral ply work? How do you do that? How do you measure that? How do you track that? How do you perform that? How do you make it specific to someone as an individual? So, as for example, for a golfer, how do you make it specific to them? How do you make it specific to a footballer, rugby player, whatever? Because, like you just said there, it's going to take 10 minutes, but it's like in my head, this is my naivety of it all. I could probably maybe figure it out if you give me a week, but for most people, it would just be, well, I'll do a box jump and a broad jump. And rather than making them specific to, bounds that you might see someone do. So I've seen footballers do, the sideways jump and then back and then sprint, because that might be what they're going to do, something similar to that in a game and based on those movements. Just think it'd be interesting to do that and go through why you'd program that, how you program that, and what goes through your brain to pick that out. Because like I said, most people that I see when they say, I'm going to do more power, it's like, okay, you just jumped on a box. It's not really powerful. And you've done it at 3 different speeds. Do you know what I mean? You've done one with counter movement, one without, and it's like they're just jumping on a box, really. It's not anything.
One's stepped into it. Yeah. One's paused. One's taken a pre-hop. One's done all this kind of stuff, which is all
the knees
like,
are caving in, all that shit. Like, it's just,
like all different kind of techniques or jumps or stuff like that. But yeah, so there's just obviously certain things that apply to certain sports or certain kind of, I don't know, benefits better. So you might do lateral, like continuous jumps, or with a med ball. So you're trying to really load into that hip and internally rotate and stuff like this. For example, when you're playing a tennis shot, like I think I talk about it on one of my talkie videos. And I was like, look, you're trying to internally rotate. People don't do that on split squats enough at all. They need to try and encourage internal rotation by moving their hips round on a split squat and feeling like their adductors fucking firing. And you'll get more stretch for your glute. I think people are very open with their hips, not closing them off a little bit. But yeah, that's generally the synopsis. Obviously, I can help you with that if you ever want any help. But I'll be running another like a free week, I think in December time. So I thought, why the fuck not? We'll do a couple by the end of the year. I feel like I can get another one in. So give some people 6 weeks to train and then redo. And then I will probably make a lot of my clients, my own clients, do that week as well. We'll shuffle their training around, so they have to do it. Have to do it. Fuck it. I'll tell them what I have to do. So it's fine.
Bingo.
But yeah, it's interesting. Obviously, my lead magnet is literally that lead magnet, my free shit, is you can learn a little bit, because I think I actually have made all of my testing videos public on my YouTube. So you can actually see them in terms of, most people, I think, do them unlisted. So sit there and fucking copy it if you really want to, but probably won't. So you want to see me jumping around slightly, but it's not new. It's not new science. It's just I'm applying some athletic-based things from the S&C world and taking them and putting them in the general public, the general kind of world, which people can go. Because I think people get scared of the strength and conditioning world. Oh, it's too complicated. It's too complex. They're doing certain things. But it's just like, it's not. It's absolutely applicable to us, and it will make us better at certain things, what we want to do. I think I wrote on an email about it. I'm too sure. But yeah, I'm just like, and it's the whole training for something. It's just like, all right, why don't we train for something? Why do people train? They train for that week in the Olympics or whatever. It's like, we should do that. We can spend 8 weeks training for something, vaguely, hopefully, instead of just spinning the hamster wheel again. Dan's training just for golf by being as specific as possible and just playing golf. So that's good.
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. I find it really hard to want to do that sort of stuff. I think for me, I recognize it's definitely a headspace thing where I'm just too busy, got too much stuff on. I enjoy playing golf, and I kind of go, I can't be arsed. Like, all my time has been built around being able to do that and play golf. And I know I'm too busy. I know I've got to cut back a little bit. And well, funny enough, we're making changes to doing that. It's definitely a headspace thing for me. It's definitely, I can't be asked waking up early and going to the gym. Like, I want to be able to wake up normally, go to the gym, get back for 10 and then start work. But at the moment, I can't do that because I'll be working till 10 o'clock at night. So it kind of ruins that a little bit. But, and I wouldn't enjoy it if I knew I was coming home to doing that much work. I just wouldn't. So I get that. But for me, I wouldn't, if I had a test like that, I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, well, I don't care if I fail it. There's no consequence of failing it. Whereas for me, it's like with the golf, I'm like, well, if I go and practice golf, I'm going to be better at golf. And there's a consequence to that because I'm playing it regularly. And it's all that sort of stuff that I find right now difficult. I know that when I have the right headspace, I would be able to do that. And if I was against other people, it's why I think that the high rock stuff's a good idea. And it's why I think
100%,
your sort of training plans work well for that. Is because, well, I'm going to tell the world, I'm going to turn up. I don't want to look like an absolute knob. I know I'm not going to win, but at the same time, I also want to do the best I can because there's a bit of social peer pressure with the accountability. It's like when me and Alex have joined a few golf competitions recently and really enjoyed the thrill of it. And we've not played well on the comps, but then I kind of look at myself and go, right, well, that's something within me that I need to work on. I can play golf and I'm relaxed and chilled, but part for me is the reason I want to play golf is that I want to be able to play scratch tournaments so that I can have that competitive element back to my life, which I feel like I missed for a long time. And I'm just nowhere near being able to do that from a training point of view. Like, I could go, why not try fucking doing some high rock stuff over here? I just don't care enough at the moment, for me anyway. Whereas I know that if I was to take my golf more seriously, I probably would train harder, train more seriously. But at the moment, I'm not near that level where I have the time to kind of do it. It's interesting. It is interesting because I know that I need to do it. I know I should do it. But it's funny how I feel like I'm in a headspace where no matter what someone says to me, like, I know it's good for me. I know I should do it. I know all these things. but I just do not have the capacity in my head to get my head around wanting to even fucking go. It's really weird.
Yeah.
Really hard to describe it. I think a lot of people are in that place. And I think that people that aren't in that place, they need something to train for, like you said, like something like that, for sure.
Because if you look at not all of my clients train for High Rocks or an event, but they've come to me to just for structure more than anything else.
Yeah.
And just
but that's why it works so well for PTs though, and coaches, because they are training. They are bored of their training, but they're still training because they do enjoy it to a degree. You know, it's good for them. They do have the time, most of them. That's where the difference is, I think, with them, is that it's great, niche and a target for you because, well, they are doing those things where you're like, oh, I'm sat twiddling my thumbs, kind of training, doing push day today, not really, not near my PB, not really pushing for PBs. It's like, well, try something else, and all of a sudden, they are invigorated to then train harder and push themselves because they've got a reason to. Like it's like I say, it's already happened there. They just need to change.
I'm going to be like, look, I've put this in your plan for 10 weeks from now. You got to train for it, or you're going to disappoint the fuck out of me. So
yeah,
that's horrible.
That's the worst. Yeah.
I want lots of pairs to do it. That's the goal. Lots of pairs to do it together, and they just end up being really competitive. I've done it in person when I've made two people do the whole combine together. Like they come day by day just to annoy each other. Absolutely hilarious, but yeah,
I bet. Yeah.
And they literally
get two mildly competitive people together. It's going to be dangerous. Well, as you're going to find out next week, Tom. As you're going to find out next week. That's right. Yeah,
we need some obviously things. Any messages? What kind of formats and competitions we're going to play? And we may do a par 3 with two people from social media. So.
Might do a full course, mate. Mine par 3.
Might do fucking full course. Fucking hell, yeah. I think I'd enjoy that more. I think that'd be fun.
Full course, yeah.
For sure. Well, I played terrible on that course you're suggesting on Fire last time, so I've got a bone to pick on that one. So,
did you? I can't remember.
I played awful. That was the worst I played all. And I didn't play that well. I think I played the best on earth, where you had a meltdown, and then I played well.
Yeah. I've had many a meltdown since, mate, on that course, don't you worry.
I'm looking forward to it, though. Looking forward to it. All right. Yeah. Any other business?
Not for me, no. Just remember, no podcast next week because we'll be busy.
No podcast next
Very busy.
week, unfortunately. Because I am flying out on Friday. Look at me, illusion. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. And we won't catch you next week. We will catch you the week after.
See you in a bit.